Hey friends, if you read the title of this video, you know what this video is about. I've been gaining for the past week. I just decided to do it. There's been times I want to and then I quit after a certain time because this is what happens. I start gaining, like I want my face to look plumper. I want my back to look stronger, but then I gain and it's like all in my belly, and then I quit and I go back to square one. And I understand it will distribute. Right now it's down there. Whoops, I pushed stop. Anyway, that's my goal. What's interesting is, well, first off, my whole life has been myself losing weight. If you don't know, I was twice my size when I was a teenager, and I would get made fun of. I should say his name on YouTube. I'll say it, Jerry Halupka. If you're watching, which he's not. We were in the high school library and it was cold, and so my friend gave me her jacket and he said, "Fat girl in a little coat." If you know Chris Farley, that's him. And it just traumatized me, and I didn't want to be like that anymore. So that, on top of, I went to my family doctor and she told me, I'm rucking right now, I got a weighted vest. I also want to get stronger. I'll get to that. I went to my family doctor and she told me I had PCOS, I had acid reflux, I had depression. I just was a mess. And I didn't want to be a mess anymore. I didn't want to take the drugs she gave me, the prescriptions. And being told you can't have your own kids at 16 is like, whoa. So I started my journey. I looked up what causes PCOS. Didn't have the internet back then, but it was excess caffeine, sugar, and carbohydrates. At that time, I worked at a coffee shop where before I'd go to high school, I'd get up at like 4, and I'd make all the scones and the muffins and the cinnamon rolls. And then I'd go to high school. And then after school, I'd go back, and whatever didn't sell that day, I got to go home with. So you think I'm kidding, but I know like Fridays, Saturdays would be a big cinnamon roll day. So I would make extra just to make sure that I had dinner. Like, you remember Seinfeld, the muffin tops? Like, I was eating all the muffin tops. That was just our driveway, half of it. So I would be like eating all the muffin tops, and that was my dinner. So, and this is why people are like, well, if you're carnivore, why do you still write non-carnivore recipes? And the reason is, if you would have told me at 16 you can only eat meat, I wouldn't even have tried. So I like people to be able to rip off the Band-Aid. Sure, you can go right to carnivore if you want to, but if you still want a gummy bear, I got a gummy bear recipe for you, and you can make them carnivore with bone broth and gelatin and all the things. So it's not that bad. So I changed my life, and my whole life for 28 and a half years now, it's always been weight loss, right? Weight loss. I never wanted to see the scale go up, right? It means I was failing. And I'm an overachiever, if you didn't know. I think I wrote 3 best-selling books in 1 year. I like to work. But that overachieving was and is making me not be the human I am. I want to be. I'm a good person, and like, when people write those mean comments, it's so hurtful. Like, you don't even know me. And they just call me anorexic, which honestly I never was. That's not, I like to eat. But I also had a husband that went through Lyme disease. And I know you're like, oh, what's the big deal, Lyme disease? Dude, it changed this guy's life. And we had just adopted the boys, so I had 2 babies. He's sick, he can't do anything. I had to do everything. And I got pushed aside. I pushed myself aside so I could finish and accomplish everything. Like, I had a business, I had to pay for these kids, and we didn't have any money. Like, I'm not kidding. We would eat eggs, and that's how the whole chocolate pudding recipe came in. If you haven't tried the hard-boiled egg pudding, try it. The story is, my son Kai, he's the youngest, he's the funny one. He didn't like eggs, and I made eggs every different way. There's a million ways to make eggs. He would never even try them. So I decided to put 10 hard-boiled eggs into a blender, a can of coconut milk, some sweetener, little vanilla, pinch of cinnamon, cocoa powder, I think I said that. And I blended that up, and it made this pudding, and I was like, whoa, he loved it. He ate so much of that. And now we make it into Fudgeicles. I grew up on Fudgeicles, so we make those. And I also use like a protein powder in there now, so it's higher protein. So yeah, it was just a lot. I didn't take care of myself. I stopped. I used to lift weights all the time, and I love it. I'm back to it, hence the weighted vest. I don't think anybody, when they gain weight, wants to gain fat. About 8 years ago, 10 years ago, it was 8. I remember, I saw pictures. I was ripped, right? I probably had 10 pounds of muscle on me, more than I do now. And I felt great, I looked great. I want to get back to that. So when I eat more, which I'll show you my meals and stuff, I also lift weights every morning, unless I'm like on a plane, I can't. But even in a hotel room, I'm gonna do body weight squats, push-ups, lunges. You can do all that. So I do like upper body one day, lower body the other day. I love lower body workouts. I love them. That's my favorite. I don't like upper body. So anyway, my story is my whole life has been weight loss. And so when I was still losing weight, when I quit working out, I was like, great. Who needs to lift weights? Who needs to waste the time doing that? Oh, so my biggest regret is stopping lifting weights, because there went my muscle mass, a lot of it. You guys saw it. I know you do. You make fun of my back. Even Craig said, don't wear that backless dress. And I love that dress. And here's the funny thing. I weighed more, but this past week I've been on like a feng shui kick, like cleaning the house, like totally, my closet, everything. My pantry was filled with so many different plates and like silverware and stuff, because writing books, you have to keep it fresh and new, and I do the photography for them. So there was so much stuff. We have big car. I have a big car. He has a small car. But I did 3 loads of full cars to Costco, Goodwill in the past week. So anyway, I'm trying on clothes because I don't want to keep clothes that don't fit, or I'm going to want to try to fit into while gaining weight, and just old stuff, you know. I found a, what was it? Old Style, what's it called? The beer, Old Milwaukee or whatever. And it's just shirts that said, I've got style. I kept that one, but I got rid of so much stuff. But I tried on a lot of my pants. Sorry, I'm going uphill. Tried on a lot of pants, and they didn't fit me anymore. They were too tight. So I think I lost a lot. Upper body, face, and my legs certainly. Not that they're fat, I understand that. But I lost muscle and I replaced it with fat. You can't, gain muscle on just eating protein alone. You need a stimulus. So that's my thing, is I want to have stimulus, gain weight. Oh boy, garbage truck coming. Gain muscle, look better. My goal is to gain a lot in my face because I feel so sunken in. I am sucking in, I got it. But I just watched YouTube with Dr. Peter Attia, and what he said is, or the people on the show said, the fat on your stomach is not the same as your face. So as you age, you lose the fat in your face and you probably won't get it back. So, well, here's to hoping. I mean, I can't lose anymore, right? So, yeah, so my whole life has been looking at the scale going down. And I'm telling you the truth, but I would almost get a high out of seeing the scale go down. Like, most people gain weight on vacation. I would lose it. And I would get like a high. Garbage truck. I would get like a high out of losing weight on vacation. I know that's not great. But I'm not going to do the gelato. I'm not going to do the croissants and baguettes. That's not my thing. But I'm going to keep you posted. This year, Craig and I are speaking in Egypt. And then we're speaking in South Africa. And on our way to Egypt, we're going to hang out in Rome a bit. And it's really, like, I love burrata. I'm going to eat like 10 burrata in a day now. If you don't know what burrata is, look it up, watch for it, it's really good. And I just want to take you along this journey. If you're not interested, you can switch it off. But maybe I should do an introduction. My name is Maria Emmerich, and I'm a nutritionist. I went to college for nutrition and exercise physiology. And my passion for the last 20 years of my business, I have been helping people lose weight and transform their lives. Like Twyla, 270 pounds. We have a 200-pound club. On our website, Craig's like, we don't need a 100-pound club. It would be so many people. So I'm really, really good at helping people lose weight. And I felt like a hypocrite if, sorry, I just heard something. There are bear and stuff around here. I felt like a hypocrite if I didn't practice what I preached. And my big enlightening moment was, yeah, I get the hate mail all the time on Instagram. Facebook is even worse now. But it was when my best friend, Laura, she is if you met her, she's always happy. And she's the biggest, healthiest carnivore. Not literally big, but figuratively. She's just the sweetheart. She would never say anything bad. And how I met her, oh man, this is a big hill. How I met her was at body pump class at the YMCA. It's a weightlifting class. And she always went there, and so did her mom. And her mom came up to me and she said, this was 15 years ago now. She said, do you know how to swim? I said, yeah. She goes, do you know how to sail? I said, no. She goes, you want to? I said, sure, because the thing about sailing is the lighter your boat is, the faster it can go. So I jumped on their sailing team, and we were all pretty short, pretty thin females, but are very strong. Because at Body Pump, you don't believe this, but I lifted more than the guys. I could squat so much, lunge so much. Guys would come into our class and try to do more than I am because pride, ego, and they couldn't. So that's how I met Laura. We started sailing together. And she just said, remember when I met you? Like, what happened? And just her saying what happened was like, wow. For her to see me emaciated and just with a kind heart. Kindness goes a long way, people. All you mean people on Facebook, kindness goes a long way. You could just say something kindly rather than, don't follow her anymore. She looks like crap. Okay, that's great. But what's funny is we always have to remind ourselves of that because my son, Micah, turns 16 tomorrow. And sometimes he talks like a teenager. He's a little sassy. And I want to be sassy back. But it goes a lot further when I treat him with kindness. So I even have to remind myself of that. Nobody deserves to be treated badly. So my goal is to get back to where I was when I met Laura sailing. I am up 4 pounds since I started. I think my face looks a little more full, maybe not. But if you make comments on this video, please make them encouraging. Please make them kind. Because if they're not, I'm not going to do this anymore. You know, I'll just keep it to myself. I'll fail. I'll fail some days, I know it. I'll succeed some, I know it. Today is a succeed day. It is. I feel very strong. Already I feel so much stronger. Another thing that you might want to know is in the middle of the night, I would have to wake up to eat something, a little thing, because I was so hungry, whether it be from forcing myself to fast or wanting to fast. Yeah, I would have to wake up and eat something. So it was usually a protein shake, which I would do the math, like how much protein was in there, how much fat was in there. And part of me wants to do this video completely carnivore, gaining weight, because a lot of people say you can't gain weight on carnivore. Yes, you can. And I'm going to show you how to do it. And I don't know, I'm interested. Has anybody else been in a situation where they want something so bad? Will there be weight loss or weight gain? And I just felt like I can't do it. This time I feel like I can, because instead of stepping on the scale and not getting my high about it being low anymore, still low. Get over yourself, Maria. It's still low, but instead of being like, oh, it's going up, I have my favorite clothes hanging. Clothes I don't wear anymore because it shows my chest. Like it's very, look at, it's very bony. I won't wear those anymore. It doesn't look good. Nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see that. So what I do is, when I would usually weigh myself, and sometimes it was like 20 times a day, I either try on a shirt or just look at it. And then I have a full-length mirror in my closet, and I look at myself. And maybe I'll take my shirt off and remind myself what I look like, because I feel strong. Look at me. I talked this whole way and I'm fine. I'm very strong. It might be a little bit of stubbornness, but I'm very strong. So I don't feel emaciated, but I don't like the way I look. And I don't like waking up hungry. And I don't like being like, you know, how can I fix my skin and doing another laser? Lasers are never going to add plumpness to my face, right? So that's my goal, is that you do watch and you do encourage me. And if I meet you somewhere, maybe I'm speaking in Florida soon, maybe we meet together in Orlando and you give me a hug and say something nice, rather than all the mean people that say that I look bad. So yeah, let's do this. As I keep walking, I think about more things I want to tell you. I'm probably going to have to get rid of some of my favorite tops, and that's okay. But that's another, you know, I was like, no, I don't want to get rid of my clothes, because I'll never find, they're very unique. If during on YouTube, but sorry about that, I usually just wear this like a black tank top. I have a million of them. But when I travel and go on my retreats, which you should come, I've got style and I love it. But I also know I don't want to keep staying like this. And this is what this video is about. The best husband ever. Like, sometimes I get frustrated because he's no longer super strong because Lyme disease really wrecked his life for the past 10 years. He's great now. Don't worry, everybody sends us a solution that he should try. He's super great now, but he's not very strong. And there's times when I got sick, I needed to go to the emergency room and he couldn't get me to the car. I had to basically crawl to the car because he couldn't carry me. And I get frustrated with that. But you know what? He is the best man ever. He's like, you put on 10 pounds, we'll go to Paris. And you buy all the clothes you want. And he knows I wouldn't spend a fortune on clothes. I like to find unique stuff it's not a fortune. But he's really supportive and like, I'm really private. That's why I can't believe I'm going on like this. I'm super private. I tell him nothing. I tell nobody anything. And I told him about how I would. He told me for years, just get rid of the scale. And I said, no. And I told him, I said, instead of stepping on the scale, I look at the shirt that no longer looks good on me, or I look at myself, I look at my face, and he'll just want to hug me so much, and I kind of back away because I get like, I don't know, weird about sharing things about emotional stuff. But I'm very lucky. Sorry. He is the best father of my kids, like the best. When I'm upset with the kids, we went on a cruise ship. We went on the low-carb cruise to Alaska, and my older one didn't talk to me the whole ship. And I was like, wow, you have your own room. You're out until 2 in the morning and I let you do this. My mom would have never let me do this. And I was really upset. I think everybody would be, but Craig's just like, don't fight it with fire. Be calm. He's a good kid, which he is. He wasn't doing anything bad. We homeschool kids and he had so many friends there. He just wanted to be with them. And my kids are also adopted, if you don't know. And I don't feel like, I know people look at us, they're like, oh, your kids are black, they're adoptive family. But we don't see that. It's not that I don't address color. It's just, we're so close. We play games every day. But he had a lot when he was a child. He went through a lot. We got him at 2.5, and by then he was in like 4 different homes before us. And he's just an awesome kid, but he's also very guarded. So Craig is I love those kids so much. I'm going off on another tangent, but anyway, I need to be strong for them, right? Be strong, be healthy, be a good example for them, right? So you guys want to start lifting weights with me? Let's do it. Friends, I just got back from my walk. I did my hair, which I hate. If I keep doing these videos for you about like gaining weight and stuff, my hair will not be done because I don't enjoy it. However, it's Micah's 16th birthday. We're going to go to dinner. And I want to tell you about why I use Element. Now, don't fast forward because I got so lean, my electrolytes couldn't be balanced. And I ended up in the emergency room 3 times because of it. So when influencers tell you that I don't know if you heard that, my kids are goofing off, that you don't need electrolytes, that it's just nature and this and that. Know that the more water, the more liquids that you drink, the more electrolytes you need because you wash them away. And I like the unflavored Element. That's the one I use. My kids use a flavored. Craig uses some flavored. I like the unflavored. And if you go to, I'll tell you more about my incidents, but if you go to www.drinkelement.com/Keto Maria, the link will be below. You always get a free sample with your order. So enjoy that. It's really good. The unflavored is just 3 ingredients. There's no other ingredients, just 3. Potassium, magnesium, and some sodium. Now, it was when I was in Hawaii and it's very hot. I just started getting a bad headache and we were supposed to go on a whale watch. And I was like, Craig, I don't think I can go. I'm just going to lay down. And I never nap, but I just needed my brain to stop pounding. Well, he was texting me and I couldn't get to the phone because I couldn't move my legs. And I'm not dramatic here. I literally couldn't move. I just had to lay like flat. And the neighbor came because Craig texted her, said, go check on Maria. She came and like I thought I was going to die. And so we called the ambulance. I don't remember anything really. I guess I was biting and kicking the people. All turns out I was super low in electrolytes. So I kind of can tell when I'm starting it to get low. I get a little shaky. You can see the camera here. So I just increase my electrolytes, eat some more food, right? That's the encouragement to gain weight so I don't need so many electrolytes. Here's the thing. I have done this diet for 28 years. I never took electrolytes until I got too thin. And then I knew that I needed them. I didn't feel well. So why not? They taste great. I don't like plain water anymore. I love salty water. So check out the Element. Get it. It's awesome. They even have like chocolate flavors. I made hot chocolate for my kids with it. It's really good. All right, this is meal number 1 for the day. We have 8-ounce filet and scallops. They're from Butcher Box, thank you. I have my carnivore steak sauce, which I keep in the fridge at all times in jars like that. It's delicious. I don't know if I'll take out all that, but probably. And Miller Biofarms cottage cheese. It's delicious. I cook the steak in this Wagyu tallow. That's why I have a nice crispy crust like that. I do take supplements. I understand some people believe we don't need supplements if you eat like the proper human diet. However, I do know after age 30, no matter what diet you're eating, your digestive enzymes start to lower. That means you can't break down the protein to get the amino acids to places you need, like your skin, hair, nails, that type of stuff. So I'm doing that. And I don't drink while I'm eating, but to get the supplements down, I have electrolytes in my thing. So, bon appetito. So that's all I have left, and I kept it for little Miss Bella, and I took out about that much of the sauce. And now I'm gonna make this for my son Micah. They just got up. Bella, you want a treat? Bella! Bella, you want a treat? Num num. Where are you? Bella. Here she is. Num num. It's Micah's birthday tomorrow, 16. He's out driving with Dad to go get his friends. And I'm having a quick lunch. This is chorizo and eggs with a bunch of sour cream on it. And I have some smoked chicken just because I like it and I had it in the fridge. I keep it in a little bit of beef broth. You could use chicken broth, but I love smoked chicken. I never liked chicken before. But look at all that. Yum. All right, before the kiddos come over, I'm over here making my carnivore steak sauce, which I thought I'd show you what it is. It's obviously really fatty. It's brown butter, so we're gonna brown the butter. And then I'm gonna get the rest ingredients and show you how to do that. Okay, so I have a blender here. I use cream cheese, I use Kettle and Fire beef broth. And I'm not gonna use this, but you could add a little truffle salt or actual truffles. I mean, I might use a little truffle salt just to add a little hint, but that's my most popular YouTube video. And if you like, I'll have it linked below. Carnivore steak sauce is so good. It's so delicious. And I just make a huge batch, so I have it in the fridge at all time. It does freeze too, because if I go like on vacation or speak somewhere, I'll just take that out and eat it up. I love it. I actually eat it cold, but I'm going to show you. So browning butter, if you don't know how to brown butter, like, where have you been? So right now it's pretty loud, but there. It's going to turn brown. It'll froth up, and then we're going to put that into the blender. And that, with my steak every morning, will help put some weight on. Adding in, nobody wants to talk about calories in the carnivore community, but it's a real thing. If I can gain weight on that, because I've been doing my thin, I eat a lot, but it's always protein. So, I love browning butter. It's so great. But it's hard. Do you guys are you carnivore? Do you have kids and teenagers? My kids are pretty much carnivore. They have like tomato sauce in their stuff, but they're pretty much carnivore, ketovore, and their friends are absolutely not. So at this party, we're gonna do burgers and brats. I made a cheesecake for Micah's cake, and then we have strawberries and cream for a treat. So I don't know. It doesn't have to. I don't even think kids care about the food. So it's all about having fun. So they're going to play, do their thing. Let's see. Come on. When you want, I'm browning a lot of butter. And I usually do like a 1-to-1 ratio for every like cup of butter, or every half cup butter, every stick of butter, you do 1 thing of cream cheese. I'm doing a 4-to-1. So 4 sticks of butter to 1 thing of cream cheese. It's starting now. So it just got quiet. Now it's going to froth up and the brownness will happen. Now this tastes great on everything. So hopefully I don't get too addicted to all the fat, because I don't want to get to be like, I don't want to gain 50 pounds. That's why I was always afraid to start, because it's hard to stop, right? But at least my face won't be sunken in if I gain 50 pounds. All right, so while that goes, we're gonna set you back over here and I'll show you that. Let's see, I'm gonna grab this. It's still browning. I like to make it pretty brown, really nice and dark brown. All right, turn that off. I am a messy cook. Like Craig, it drives Craig nuts. He's always cleaning after me. Sweetheart. I'm just letting it brown for another second. Okay, here we go. Into this. There. Now what I do is I take this broth and I'm going to put it in here, because there's still pieces of brown goodness, and that's stuff you don't want to miss. Now you can make it as thin or thick as you want. I'm going to first puree it up. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so I did add just a little bit of truffle salt, and I'm just gonna show you. I put it in jars like this, and then into the fridge, and just keep it for when I want it. So good. And the full recipe will be in the link below. Tonight we are at Meritage, which is a beautiful French restaurant, and we have oysters, 12 of them? Yes. 12, and there was only 11, and so we got a little crab leg. Bon appetito. Okay, now for dinner, we have mussels with like a bacon cream sauce. We have sole with brown butter and steak tartare. Bon appetito. And one more meal for the day. I'm doing an Equip protein shake, which is from beef protein. I have some ricotta with that. I kind of dip it in there, and this is just a little brown butter dip. I love it. It's like a great little treat. Okay, friends, so that was a day in my weight gain journey. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you also encourage me, because this is usually the point where I stop. I'm 4 pounds up. I feel so much stronger, but this is when I usually quit. But I need to keep going. I need to keep going. I know that. So if you could comment below on any encouragement, I really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I mean, I know everybody says that in their videos, but it's super helpful for us. And I'll keep you posted on all the, what I eat when I travel and all the cool whale adventures. If you haven't checked out our whale videos, you should. Mahalo, everybody. When I was 16 years old, I was diagnosed with PCOS, acid reflux, depression, and IBS. Instead of taking those prescription drugs, I decided to change my life with food. Yes, food healed me, and it's healed so many of my clients over the past 20 years of working with people. If you are interested in transforming your life, check out KetoMaria.com. I'd be honored to help you.